All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disney WTF, where we talk about what's the fuss about Disney. We're a Disney couple. One of us is a Disney fanatic, and one of us is still just trying to figure all this stuff out. But somehow, we've made a way to make this relationship work.
Welcome to episode 27.
27.
Mm-hmm. It's like my unofficial lucky number.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
I guess because I was born on the 27.
Oh, true.
But I don't know. I feel like things aren't lucky. If you go all the way up to 27, then you've gotten really unlucky somehow.
Yeah, that's funny. We are excited to be here. How are you? How are you feeling today?
I feel great. I feel like the spirit of the holidays is inside me now, and I'm just ready to plan a Disney trip already.
Yeah.
We need to get that going.
Well, before we do that, headlines.
All right. So the headlines I have today are all actually about ride closures. So very, very important stuff to know, especially if you're going to be planning a trip in the upcoming holiday season. Mm-hmm. So the first one, it was officially announced that Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be closed in February 26th to March 18th.
Oh.
The reason why is because they're taking out the auction of brides scene and replacing it with auction of goods instead of brides.
Oh, okay. And this is at WDW, or is this everywhere?
Well, that's the ride closure for WDW.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's all I know so far.
Okay.
But yeah, it's controversial among Disney fans, especially because it's super duper classic. Mm-hmm. Auction a bride. We wants the redhead. Of course we wants the redhead. You know?
Do we though?
Don't we though?
Yeah, no, I meant like, is that a good thing to leave that in? Or, I don't know.
You figure how many decades upon decades it's actually been in the ride,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they're like, let's change this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting. I feel like the auction of bride scene adds a lot of charm to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in general. It's definitely going to be missed. And as we all know, Disney people, hardcore fanatics, we've got a problem with change.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I'm sure it's going to be great.
I hope it goes well for you guys.
I'm going to be bitter to the very end.
Yeah.
But it's going to reopen on March 18th, so the day after St. Patty's Day.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful, but I'm still upset.
Okay, well.
All right, next closure. So Splash Mountain has actually been under refurbishment since September, and it's scheduled to reopen on November 18th, which is not too long from now when we're recording. But they just announced that they're going to close Splash Mountain again next year in January.
So if we go right now, we wouldn't be able to ride the ride?
No, correct. If we go right now, we wouldn't be able to ride. But if we go after November 18th, we can ride.
For a limited time.
Yes, for
Wow.
a limited time. And then if you go
rough.
after January 8th, you're not going to be able to ride. And it's not really known what the second closure is going to be. It's good that they're reopening it for the holiday season, and maybe perhaps that's why they're going to reopen it for that small amount of time.
Yeah.
So that they can accommodate more guests, and they can have more options for everybody to ride. And it's probably upsetting, like if you plan this huge trip for Disney in the holidays and Splash Mountain's your favorite ride, it's a big popular ride, and you can't ride it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Dang.
Disney closing stuff.
Yeah, all over the place. And in other news, also with rides though, Stitch's Great Escape. So remember when we talked about Stitch's Great Escape?
Yeah, and that it was something was being new.
Well, that people really don't like the ride that much,
Yeah.
and it's only open seasonally.
Yes, I remember.
So
because they have character meet and greets.
Yes.
I remember that.
So as of right now, it's just a character meet and greet, but they're actually reopening it for a very, very small window during the holiday season.
Okay.
Like so small. December 23rd to January 6th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can ride it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like, guys, this is your last chance to ride this because we're done with it. Like,
hopefully. Yeah. But again, I think that probably that is just to accommodate more guests and channeling crowd levels into spaces instead of having everybody be inside just the walkways of Magic Kingdom, because it's going to be so crowded during those times. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how much longer we have Stitch, because that's a really limited run.
Super limited.
Super limited.
That's funny.
And my last little piece of news for closures is the Hall of Presidents was originally announced that it was going to reopen late 2017. That's now. But they...
I was like, when is that going to be?
Yeah, but they decided that, well, unofficially announced, it's just been rumored around the parks that it's actually going to be like more mid-2018 before they open.
Okay.
But there's a lot of mixed messages. Apparently some cast members are saying, oh yeah, it's going to open soon, it's going to open this year, which whatever this year means to them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be reopening for the holiday season at least. So take that as what you will.
I will.
You will. Maybe it'll open on July 4th. That would be mid-2018.
That would be smart.
Yeah, that would be a good marketing thing.
Like,
I bet a lot of people would see it.
What a day. I would be like, let's go.
A day of freedom, maybe.
Yeah. You can just smell the freedom probably that day there. They're just going to spray freedom everywhere.
Yeah, along with your orange tan.
Yeah.
Well, anyways. So, Ricard, today, I'm really, really excited. We're going to talk about Disney holiday must-dos.
Okay.
And I just want to take a minute to acknowledge the title. So Disney holiday must-dos. So in the resort hotels, there's a very, very popular resort TV video that stars Stacy. Her name is Stacy. And she talks about Disney must-dos.
Okay.
And I can watch that. I can even listen to it. I have it on my iPod on loop, just listening to it.
On loop?
Yeah.
Nice.
On loop. I'll listen to it.
Okay.
But it's super fun, and I'm taking that inspiration. What are the Disney holiday must-dos
Yes.
for 2017?
Yes.
Yes.
So this has come about because obviously being that we're in November and we're going into the holidays, I wanted to know what's the fuss about the holidays at Disney.
Yeah.
So,
Ricard, you've been to Disney during the holidays.
I have.
How was that experience for you?
It was very Christmas-like.
Okay.
I've gone to, one of the biggest things I think I've seen around that time was that light show. I think we've spoken about it before, but that thing was amazing.
The Osborne Spectacle of Lights, which is now retired.
That thing was really cool because it snowed. The biggest thing for me is there's crazy lights everywhere, and obviously Christmas involves Christmas lights, and everything had Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And it snowed, and they had music.
Okay. Well, you know what's funny? It's like a lot of what you said that you liked about it, you can find in other areas and other holiday offerings at the parks.
Okay.
And outside the parks too. So I think it's going to be great, even though you're not going to see this show that you really seem like you connected with. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing is going to be Holidays Around the World, which is at Epcot, starting November 19th. But they've actually renamed it to be called International Festival of Holidays. And what
That's
it does...
worst name.
The International Festival of Holidays?
The first name was much better.
Holidays Around the World?
Yeah, it made more sense. Like, I get it more.
I feel like...
Oh, Disney.
I feel like they're one and the same, though, no?
Yeah, no. The other one rolls off the tongue much better.
Holidays Around the World.
Yeah. Much
International Festival of Holidays.
Someone was like just dead set on changing that for like no apparent reason. And they got their way.
I'm wondering if maybe it was like, I wonder why actually they changed it. That's a really good question. And I thought it to myself briefly, and I never really gave it much more thought other than like, oh, they changed it. Huh.
Yeah. That's also probably someone like maybe feeling like they need to do something.
Yeah.
And like they need change. And that's what what did you do in 2017? Yeah, I had the whole name changed. It's everything. Everyone approved it.
Everyone approved it. Yeah, Mark over there in marketing, he approved it. Well, you know what I just thought of? Maybe they changed it because the holidays around the world, it's been a thing at Epcot for many, many years. So maybe they're trying to draw in.
Like a rebranding?
Yeah, like a rebrand, something make it a little bit more fresh.
I get it.
But you don't sound very happy about
I'm not. But I'll be all right.
All right. Well, basically what happens is in World Showcase, you have demonstrations and speakers of how they celebrate holidays in these different countries and these different regions.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So you go to France, for instance, and Papa Noel is there telling you how they celebrate Christmas.
Okay.
And they represent them, how they would be represented in the culture in that particular area. So, for instance, using Papa Noel as an example, he's not this big, jolly man, with a belt made of coal buttons made of coal. He's not the Santa that we have here, at least.
Okay.
He's this slender man with a long white beard, and he has like a cape with a hood on it. It's very, very...
So that's their Santa, basically?
Yeah, or Papa Noel.
Oh, that's... Okay, got it.
So yeah, it's one of their holiday cultural icons, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But that's just one example, and that particular example is very similar to obviously what we have here. It's an elderly man spreading joy around the world, but in other countries,
Elderly overweight man.
Yeah, well, except in France, he's not overweight.
That's
But in other countries, it's very, very dissimilar to how they celebrate the holidays, and you get those demonstrations right in front of you, included in a park ticket.
Yeah. Well, so how does that? Is it like it's like, all right, we have shows at 2, 4, and 6, or is he just there the whole time prancing, or how does that?
Prancing.
How does that work?
Is he Prancer, Dancer, Donner, or
Whatever.
Vixen? Well, so they are scheduled.
Okay.
So in the Times Guide, it'll tell you, okay, well, this is what time you can see this person, or at these different countries.
Yeah.
So you can, it's just, there's so much more to pack in your day, which makes it really overwhelming, actually. But it's kind of good because you can spread yourself out. So even if the rides are busy, there's still so much to do just in the park.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And then each country will have their version of that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you can really, and for people who like to travel, but maybe don't want to travel outside of the country for Christmas, which I did once. I was so homesick. But anyways, I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
Never again. But you can still get a grasp of how these people also have their holidays around this time of the year.
Yeah.
And it's super cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
You know how they're marketing they're marketing Epcot's events on the Disney website? An International Yuletide Extravaganza.
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
You hate that one too?
I don't even know what Yuletide means.
Yuletide is like Christmas time.
Oh, I didn't know.
They even have, there's something called a Yule log, which is like a Christmas log, but it's a cake.
Wow. Okay. We should go check this out.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad you said that because I really do want to check it out on our
Okay.
holiday trip that I hope we're planning soon.
Yes.
I don't mind International Yuletide Extravaganza. I like it, actually. I think
it's so fancy.
it's so over the top and ridiculous. That's why it's awesome.
I guess maybe I can see that. Fine.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Change
Yeah.
instant. All right. So our next thing on the list of Disney must-dos, Magic Kingdom. And I know that's kind of like,
Duh.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Magic Kingdom, of course. But I definitely want to go into a little bit more detail about why. It's not, they have obviously the decorations, they have the Very Merry Christmas Party, which is a special ticketed event that you can go to at night. But something about Magic Kingdom is just the ultimate Christmas destination because they have, it's almost like the vibe of Magic Kingdom as a whole is the ultimate Christmas dream.
Yeah.
So obviously trees and special decorations everywhere.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention about the Very Merry Christmas Party. There's a special parade that's only in the Very Merry Christmas Party called Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade. And it is probably one of the best parades that is available to see in all of Disney.
And it's only one exactly?
It's only at the Very Merry Christmas Party.
And how many of those are there?
So it's kind of like
I don't know what that party is.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's kind of like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where it's like a special event after the park closes. So they have it running throughout the holiday season on specific nights.
Okay.
So you would have to
buy,
plan
like,
ahead.
An extra ticket and everything.
Yeah, you would have to plan ahead and things like that. But at that time, they do Snow on Main Street, something that you really want to see, apparently.
That'd be cool.
They've got your lights, they've got your snow.
Yeah.
And you know what's also worth mentioning about Disney in general? At the at the parks and outside the parks, the background music completely changes. So all the background music that we have come to know and love changes to all Christmas.
Okay.
And so Main Street, for instance, has a Main Street Christmas loop.
Now, is it, when you say Christmas, is it the traditional Christmas music, or is it Disney's own version of Christmas stuff?
It depends on where you are. A lot of it, though, is traditional.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll definitely be hearing a lot of the classic hits.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Classic, yeah.
Okay.
You can hear that.
Is that Disney?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's old as time.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they snatched up the rights or something.
Oh, I'm sure they
That
have.
would've been smart.
Of course, it's Disney. Of course they snatched up the rights. They've got plenty of lawyers.
Yeah.
And something that you can also see at Magic Kingdom is the Holiday Wishes Spectacular. So that's, again, a part of the Christmas party, but I remember when everybody was so upset when Wishes changed into the new fireworks show. But I mean, at least you get a taste of Wishes in the Holiday Wishes Spectacular.
There you go.
So there you go. All right. So the next thing that's on the Disney Holiday Must Do is something that we mentioned a couple of episodes in our news briefing, the Sunset Seasons Greetings, which is in Disney Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Do you remember me telling you about that?
I don't.
Do you listen to me at all? All right. So this is a brand new event. How cool is that?
Okay.
I mean, especially, and I know we talked about this previously, people who are Disney fanatics, I mean, at some point you feel like you've seen it all. And then when something happens that's totally brand new and it's a new Disney experience and memories that you can make, I mean, that is just winning. It is a winner. So what this is going to be is on Sunset Boulevard, which is one of the main throughways in Hollywood Studios, is going to transform into a snow-filled extravaganza.
Okay.
Because Disney loves that word so much. Extravaganza.
Yeah. Okay.
So what they're going to do is have a projection show on the Tower of Terror.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to have billboards on Sunset Boulevard come to life and tell you all these amazing stories. And it's going to be a big event. But they're going to have it every night, so you can do it just with regular park admission. It's not a special thing that you can do.
Yeah. So every night now they're going to have, like how they have the castle projections, they're going to have Tower of Terror projections?
Yes. And you know what? I thought of you when I read that, when this news first came out, because you love the projection show at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, the technology's cool.
So now it's going to be on Tower of Terror. The whole 13 stories Tower of Terror is going to be lit up with projections and stories told by Minnie and Mickey Mouse. They're going to have Toy Story characters, the Swedish chef putting up a fuss about a gingerbread house from Muppets. It is going to be really, really awesome. And
Extravagant.
You could say it's going to be extravagant.
There you go.
I've been abstaining from reading reviews, watching YouTube videos about it, because I really want to be surprised.
Yeah.
So
it's already
when
happening.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, we just gotta go see it.
So they had pass holder previews, and now, as of the time of this release, it is going to be just every night.
So on our next trip, are we going to MGM?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to?
Yeah, I want to go to that Walt thing.
They closed that.
They closed it?
I think they did.
When?
Well, I didn't tell you at the time because I knew you'd react like this.
Oh my god, that's messed up. Did you know they were closing it?
Well, I think they actually refurbed it. I think they reopened it by now.
Okay.
But they were going to add a couple new things in it.
Okay.
And Richie's talking about One Man's Dream.
Yeah.
You really, really like Walt Disney.
Well, yeah,
as
because
the man.
he's like the dude that created all this craziness, which is crazy.
It's, you know what he says too. It all started with a mouse.
Which is him.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's true and deep.
Yeah.
All right. So the next Disney holiday must-do, the resorts.
Okay.
So not just going to the parks, like you don't have to even have a ticket to enjoy the amazing Christmas offerings that are at Walt Disney World Resort. You can go to the hotels, you can see all of the Christmas decorations that the hotels have, and they have special treats as well, and also the background music changes for even the resort hotels. It becomes just totally magical. And I do want to put a special shout out there to Grand Floridian Resort, which is on the monorail loop by the Magic Kingdom. They do it upright. They have I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because
this is serious.
I've never heard the term, they do it upright. What does that mean?
Like they do it upright. They do it correctly.
Because it sounds like it just sounds like they're doing it standing up, not lying down.
Well, exactly. That's an even better comparison. They're not going to lie down for this. They're going to get up and they're going to put up some decorations.
It's so funny. I've never heard that term. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay. Well, every single resort is going to have a lot of Christmas theming and decor going on. Okay. So all the way from the values to the deluxe resorts like Grand Floridian. But you know what you might not expect? Fort Wilderness campgrounds. Not just the Disney part of that Disney has to maintain, but the actual campsites themselves. Patrons are parking their campers or RVs. They do it upright there too.
Okay. Stop it. Stop. Now you're just doing it on purpose.
I'm not. It's just that's how you describe it.
Okay.
That's how you describe it. They decorate their campsites like no other. It's definitely worth a visit. If you haven't been over to Fort Wilderness, and especially around the Christmas season, I mean, you are going to see just regular Disney lovers like you and I decorating their Christmas campsite.
Yeah.
Super fun.
You know, it's just, I mean, you talking about that campsite thing though, it's just so crazy, how deep Disney goes, just like with where people take things. And like, I would have never known that a goal of mine, which I'm about to tell you what it is because it just happened just right now, that a goal of mine would be to like literally get a camper, hook it up to the truck or the car that we have at the time, and go camp out at Disney and set up like Christmas stuff.
Okay.
That'd be really cool.
All right.
But we need a camper.
Okay,
and
so
probably a Tesla.
By 2018? A Tesla? No. to tow the camper?
Yeah, it'd be a small thing. It's just like the small ones. It's like a little egg. It's like for cars.
Like the one that collapses on itself?
It doesn't have to collapse on itself, but no, it's a structure that you just connect to a car. Tesla has towing power, and then you take it.
You know what I think is probably the coolest camper to decorate for Christmas? Probably
a Tesla.
A Tesla is not a camper.
You can sleep in one.
I could also sleep in the driveway, but I'm not going to do that. Anyways, an Airstream. You know, like the metal looking campers that you tow behind you?
Yes.
Those are called Airstreams.
Yes.
They look amazing with Christmas lights.
Interesting.
I think, oh my gosh, I just remembered. My wrapping paper from last year featured a camper that was decorated.
Yeah, it's called Fate.
Oh, yeah. Is that what it's called? Yeah. All right, let's move on. So the next Disney must-do for this holiday season is actually at Disney Springs, aka Downtown Disney. And they have what's called a holiday tree trail. And it's kind of like exactly what it says. Like, it doesn't leave anything to the imagination, like the Epcot type.
It's just a trail of trees.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
And what you do is you find characters. Like, each tree is decorated to be like a character. Oh. And you're supposed to, figure out what the inspiration behind the tree was.
Yeah.
And it's all kinds of Disney characters, from Pluto and Mickey Mouse to Mulan and Ariel from The Little Mermaid. It's going to be wonderful. I've never seen it before, but I've seen pictures, and they do it upright. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I really didn't even mean to do that. It's what came out.
I didn't even hear it for a second. It just sounded normal now.
I'm sorry. And I gave you a look too. I gave Richie a look that was like, oh, it's going to happen. Yeah. I can't stop it. It's just coming out.
It's funny.
So that's another fun offering that you could do at Disney Springs. And again, outside the parks. So you don't need to be inside the parks. I mean, obviously it's super duper fun. Yeah. But you can have all this Christmas cheer without even a park ticket. So for instance, we were looking at our blackout dates because we were trying to figure out what day we might want to do a weekend trip. But really, do we have to go on a day that's not blackout? We probably didn't. We wouldn't have to if it didn't work out. Because
we're gonna go on a day that our passes are valid.
Well, okay.
I'm not gonna pay
Just
more.
saying we wouldn't have to if it didn't work out.
Okay.
Okay. And on a final note for the Disney must-dos, and this is just going to cover resort-wide, the food. Because why are we all here at Disney? We're here for the food.
That's true.
And there are so many different food offerings that you can have in and outside of the parks, obviously. So, for instance, at Epcot, I feel like Epcot has special food events all year long. It's like, we know that Food and Wine is doing so well, so let's do it all year long.
Yeah.
So they have holiday kitchens now. And so what it is, it's their booths, like Food and Wine style booths outside of the countries, and they're selling holiday treats that are representative of what you might find in those areas of the world.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they've got all kinds of different beverage offerings at these kitchens. They've got different food offerings. The menus are available actually online. I saw them on DisneyFoodBlog.com, and it sounds so delicious.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me want to go to Epcot probably multiple days so we can try everything. If you wouldn't mind.
We'll see.
Okay, you mind.
We'll see how that goes.
But yeah, it's like a mini holiday food and wine festival, and it seems really cool. So let's go to Hollywood Studios. So when we're on Sunset Boulevard watching our, Tower of Terror projection show, there are things that we can get at Hollywood Studios that we can't get anywhere else. Number one, the holiday whoopie pie, which you probably don't know what a whoopie pie is.
Nope.
Okay. So it's like 2 pieces of cake with icing inside. It's almost like a cupcake that's been made into a sandwich, but more firm and less soft. Is that an okay description?
Kinda.
Okay. Anyways, it doesn't look anything like that. It's in the shape of a tree.
Oh, okay.
The whoopie pie. This particular
I feel like
one.
this is one of those things like you just have to see it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
you do just have to see it.
Yeah.
Darn it, I should have had a picture for you.
Yeah.
But it's a red velvet cake with vanilla cream cheese icing in the inside, and it has powdered sugar sprinkled all over it for the snow effect.
That sounds quite cool.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
They also have a alcoholic hot chocolate flight.
Oh, nice.
Isn't
Okay.
that cool?
That's
I've
interesting.
never heard of such a thing before.
It's only at Hollywood Studios?
This particular flight, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never heard of that before.
Well,
An alcoholic hot chocolate flight.
that's a solid way to like a story of like a black, like, yeah, I blacked out that one night. It was crazy. What were you drinking? it was
hot chocolate,
yes,
I think.
hot chocolate.
I blacked out that night. That's super funny. Like, something I feel like I don't do enough during the holidays, to be honest, is drink like warm alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like some mulled
'Cause it doesn't sound
wine and
good.
some apple cider that's been
Yeah.
spiked. Oh, doesn't that all sound so good?
Yeah.
If we lived in a colder climate, I feel like I'd make more of a point to do it, but
But it's hot.
it's hot.
So hot here. Miami life.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So another thing that I'm really excited for in terms of food specifically is holiday popcorn to put in my popcorn bucket.
Wow. So you're gonna be running around with that thing again?
Yeah, of course.
Is there popcorn there normally though? Always?
Oh, there's always popcorn available at,
It's just not as big.
well, they don't have as much variety.
Do they have popcorn buckets for sale at WDW?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's not as big of a thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the popcorn bucket designs in Japan are way more fun.
Yeah.
So,
You should
but,
design your own popcorn bucket.
and 3D print it.
There you go.
Perfect. They actually released a Pluto holiday popcorn bucket, and it's literally a Pluto, and he's wearing like a scarf and a hat, and you open him up, and there's some popcorn. But anyways, the holiday popcorn is popcorn, M&Ms, pretzels, and a chocolate sauce drizzle and marshmallows. Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're like salivating like
It
I am
sounds like
about
a
it.
lot
But yeah,
to put in popcorn.
it's the holidays.
I know.
We're allowed to do it.
And I guess I did have like soy sauce popcorn not too long ago. So
That's true.
I guess it
This is
seems
a little
normal.
bit more, a little bit more run of the mill, I
Yeah.
guess, than soy sauce and butter popcorn
Yeah.
and curry popcorn. So, yeah. And then another food item that I feel like is more of a tradition at this point, and it's obvious, it's like something obvious you're going to do, is go visit the gingerbread house at Grand Floridian Resort. Get yourself a shingle, maybe an alcoholic hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And just take a seat in the lobby. Maybe the jazz band's going to be playing. Look at the Christmas tree. Oh my goodness. You couldn't write a better afternoon at Disney.
Yeah. That place is cool.
Yeah. Oh, that just sounds wonderful. I really want to do it right now.
Well, come back to reality here in our show in
I
Miami.
work this weekend. Yeah, okay. But I did want to end on that note that that's my holiday happy place, I think, at Disney, is going to be in the Grand Floridian lobby. With
Upright.
Super upright, not like down for this one. And it's going to be with the jazz band playing, maybe have, a nice hot beverage with a shingle in my hand, eating it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. What's your holiday happy place? It doesn't have to be Disney. Is it with me?
Yeah, at home.
But wouldn't it be better if it was at Disney?
Well, for you. Well.
I'm excited to spend the holidays with you this year, Ricard, at Disney. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
So, as always, if you are listening, we'd appreciate any sort of comments or reviews. All the feedback is going to be greatly appreciated. Check us out on YouTube and subscribe. We'd really appreciate you watching us on there. We got a cool setup. You can see what we look like. You can see the cool see the cool Disney shirt I'm wearing, which I've never really had Disney gear, but now I have a bunch. If you're on SoundCloud too, you can follow us on there. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. And check us out on Instagram, DisneyWTF.radio. We're on Twitter and Medium.com.
And Facebook.
And soon, we'll be on your Alexa briefing.
Yes, we will. Coming attractions.
Yes.
We'll keep you updated. So again, thank you guys so much for listening. Listening. I'll list you. We really, really appreciate it. We hope you guys have a super duper magical day, a magical weekend, a magical holiday season.